Hey, YouTubers, welcome to World Cinema Reviews. It's your host, Frank Devent. And welcome to another edition of Analyzing the Franchise. Um, we're analyzing the Terminator franchise. We took a look at part 5, and if you want to know my thoughts on it, I'll put the link on the description below so you guys can see what I thought of the latest installment. But we're going backwards, so from number 5, we're going to number 4. So we're going to talk tonight about Terminator Salvation. And Terminator Salvation was not loved by critics by a long shot. And some consider it one of the lowest points of the franchise. And um, and then we'll talk about part 3 before we get to the good stuff, right? And tell you how I compare them and how why I think about it. Well, let's analyze it. Let's talk about it, and I'll tell you my feelings about the franchise. But let's see who's in it. Well, this Terminator Salvation was directed by MCG, same director who did the Charlie's Angels movie, and he's renowned for doing action films and stuff like that. He Now, we're also gonna, tell you the cast. This stars Christian Bale, of course, as John Connor, Sam Worthington as Marcus Wright, and Anton Yelchin as Kyle Reese, and among others. It's actually a very good cast. I like Helena Bonham Carter as. As Doctor Serena Coogan, and also Skynet. Also, we have Michael Ironside um, as a general there. Um, the movie basically plot is that on Terminator One, when we know that there's this war against the machines and Skynet, so the writers and the directors thought that it would be interesting to actually finally make a film where you can actually see what's going on there. Stop the time traveling business, going back and forth from the future to the past and all that, and make a swing of things, and make a story about what happens, the onslaught against Skynet, the fighting against Skynet, and Bale does a fine job. Some people don't like Christian Bale's acting, but I think personally, I think he's a good actor. Your opinion may differ from mine, but there's a thin line. There's people who think he's lousy. There's people who think he's great. I think he's fine. I think he's fine the way he is. I don't particularly think he's the most awesome actor in the world, but he's got. If you put him in the right role, he can actually to me, he can perform quite well, and he can be a very fine actor if you use him like you should, and he does a good job in here. Everybody does great here. But before I get into that, basically the plot follows, him fighting against Skynet and launching this onslaught to destroy, the machines from ruling the world. Um, Now and exterminating all humans, and basically Skynet has this plan of taking down all the major commanders of the resistance so that the machines can win. And we also, the interesting twist here is that besides the story with John Connor, we have a side story with Sam Worthington. That basically he volunteered his body to science, and there's no big spoiler because you sort of know ever from the beginning of the film that he's an experiment that turns part machine, and has got to see whether his humanity or his machine side will win, and what side will he go? Will he go with the human resistance, or will he side with the machines? Um, and actually, I think the concept is fine. I thought the acting, especially from Helena Bonham Carter, John and Sam Worthington and Christian Bale. They're just fine. Everybody does fine. Michael Aronson, I love every time he's in. Ever since I've seen him in Scanners, he's one of my favorites. Everybody does great. I don't. Now, here's the. Let me before I start rambling. Let me really focus what I think about this movie. I think this movie is fine, but it doesn't have the feel of a Terminator film. If this movie was just about a futuristic, um, situation where machines have taken over the world, and this is a sci-fi film, this would actually, to me, would be a B plus to an A minus film because it's actually well done. It's well acted, very good special effects, really good action scenes. It has everything that it needs. I don't understand the hatred towards it, but I do understand why it's not a fan favorite of the franchise. It's because you know, Terminator has gotten to be a part of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Arnold is not in it, except for a CG cameo where his face likeness is towards the end. He appears. I don't even know how long the sequence is, maybe a minute or two, and basically it's not what you know we were used to looking. We really that Terminator film, Arnold has to be in it, or we have an antagonist. Skynet is more like a virtual town, and you see the whole machines, but it's lost. It's lost. It doesn't have the feel of a Terminator film. I'm sorry, and that takes a lot down. As a film standalone, and it's kind of not fair because as a film standalone, I definitely think that every little sequence that it had to be could actually be a quite understanding. But because it is part of a franchise and you're telling a story that is connected and it's supposed to be that way, it suffers a little bit. So to me, this film is a B or a B minus. Still a fine film, still a good thing to watch, and I definitely recommend it for the action sequences, and because it has a good acting. It's a good film. I don't get it. People on Rotten Tomatoes and everybody dumps on this film. So, oh no, it's horrible. No, it's not. It's just, to me, it just suffers the Arnold less syndrome, and I think that perhaps if they would have made a better antagonist in this film, it would have worked. Like, we needed to see this machine, this single machine that follow after, but what we got is a lot of CGI, and we got a lot of hologram with Helena Bonham Carter, and it didn't feel that it belonged. It didn't feel. I didn't feel personal with the villain. The antagonist, just that part. It actually messed up the film, but it didn't mess it up. Not enough to be a bad film, but it took away what it could have been, which I think could have been great. It had a lot of potential, but as it stands, to me, it's a solid B. B minus. Take it. If you leave it for that. So that's my thoughts on the film. Now on part, coming up is part three, and part three has Arnold Schwarzenegger on it. Does it mean it's gonna be awesome, or does it mean it's gonna bomb? So stay tuned for the next video. Please comment. Tell me what you think about the movie. If you like it, you didn't like it. Just let me know. And remember, I'm going backwards, so I started with 5, 4, and now 3. Please subscribe. Take it easy, be blessed, stay cool, and see you next video. And yeah, I'll say it because Arnold's coming, so I'll be back next video. That was too cheesy. Bye.